I'm gonna give it like a few minutes. We're gonna give it a few minutes. We were on TikTok. That didn't work out. It did, but he was in a little box in the corner and we not doing it. We gonna get it. We gonna bounce off my previous live. It's on his page. I didn't get a chance to go live from one of my phones. Ooh, excuse me. I didn't get a chance to go live on my phone. So the first live is on. Hey May. Hey May. Do we say your name right? Is it pronounced May? Is it May or my? Like let us know. Cause I wanted to ask you that. When we say May, is that correct? Or is it my girl Liz? Oh, I just got it. Is it my girl Liz or Les? Yeah, I just got it. I just read the whole thing. Okay. Now I feel better. I knew it wasn't how we was saying it. So it's my girl Les. Okay. Is your name Les? So we should be saying Les instead of we've been saying May. You ain't even correct this. So y'all, it's only one in here. We're gonna give it a few more minutes. I'm sorry about that. I gotta let Awesome. I let my Instagram know. I let YouTube know. I let where else did I post it? I don't even know if you can hear me. Yeah, I'm a little stuffy, so excuse me. I'm a little stuffy. We're gonna wait a few more minutes. I'm still trying to learn all of this. Oh, I turned my camera off. Okay. Les. Leslie. Okay, Les. I'm gonna start calling you Les. Okay. So Awesome getting himself together. We gonna give it until name a car for Eddie. Oh Lord, here come the trolls. Here come the trolls. We love the trolls. We love the trolls. Oh, Joseph, I love you too. That was so sweet.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
you said you love me again. I love you too. Look at the comments, Trey.
What's
I,
going on? All caps.
I love you too.
I hate you. Joseph,
I
Joseph,
love
you said.
you. Sweet. That is so sweet.
Joseph say he's age.
That's the sweet. That is so sweet. I appreciate that.
Hey, you done, pumpkin? You done? Okay. So you don't have to be no more.
Okay. I love when people get on here and say nice things. Don't you? Awesome.
Nothing warms my cold heart faster.
Well, people don't understand. You know what's interesting about me and you? Me and you. I know signs. I'm not either, but signs have. You're a Taurus. You're the male version, of course. I'm a Taurus as well. When it comes to the internet stuff, I don't take nothing personal because I don't know them folks and I don't care about them. These people on here that be spreading, I don't care about what you say.
Actually,
You trying to get
it's
under
funny.
my skin?
It's funny. I'd rather enjoy it.
Yes, you
I'm a little,
stay.
I'm a little sick.
You,
I've
you see, I didn't move you. You need
been through so.
you need love, baby. I understand. You didn't have love in your
I
life.
make it.
You probably didn't even have your father or a mother, and it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, need more people in here. Y'all, ain't nobody like the live. Like the live, y'all. We about to get started. You ready? I'm gonna post.
Wait,
I'm gonna post this later. First of all, how are you? I appreciate you for allowing me to do this again.
it's my pleasure. And I'm well.
Yes. So as you know, I'm gonna bounce off a little bit on. I have to sit this like this because my phone is charging. I am gonna bounce off. Hi Gizmo. Baby, you miss me? For those of you who don't know,
Right.
I went over there and interviewed Awesome for the very first time. Um, you always say you can't with the trolls. Hey y'all, shouldn't Princess be in the bed? Exactly. Bounce off a little bit. Um, in the first interview, do you remember my first question? So my very first question was, "Are you single?" And everybody know you're single. We all know it. He's single,
Yes.
ladies. Okay. So with that being said, with that being said, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know, do you have any potential women that fit the criteria what you're looking for at all, if any, a potentials or a potential?
Pay attention uh, to what the Creator has for me.
Hmm.
Speed to come. We shall see. A man should never speak too fast. Shouldn't be too hasty with his words.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay. So we'll see.
We shall see.
Okay. That's very mysterious. Okay. So what other races have you dated?
Um, See, I've dated. Well, you got me. We have the gizmo here, so I have to be very correct with my language. Dating, I wouldn't call necessarily dating. Been with, let's see, just about some of everyone at some point in time. Yeah, just you know what I'm saying. Like just to sum it up, yeah, I'm a lover of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man who appreciates the the beauty of women. However, I am partial to black women. I've said that like there's I've often mentioned this time, and I'll say it now again. No one can ever love a black man like a black woman
Right.
because the connection is as old as time itself.
Mm.
So, you know what I mean? How can anybody truly top that? How can any woman ever truly understand her man like the black woman? It's just impossible. She can attempt and
Right.
she can even be sincere in her efforts. However, it will never quite measure up to
Okay.
that from a black woman. It just won't.
Okay. Okay. So I heard what you said. Now, when I asked you that, you said you questioned. You said, "Well, dated." You said, "Well, have I, like actually like been in a relationship with?" So when I mean dated, well, when I mean like dated, I mean like y'all dated and then you actually decided to make it official and
Yeah, that's
was
yeah. That,
together.
I'm not official. Yeah, probably in that case once. You know what I'm saying with a woman. Like I'm not a. You know what I mean. But here's the
Really?
thing. When I say it, well, let me say that when a man does this is this. When I say you with me, that's what it is. You know. And look at baby, you with me. Like all that. You know, I don't. You know, make it official. That's what. Hey, look at you know who you with, right? And that's my basically proposal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
A man should never get on his knee for any. I don't get on my knees for anyone except my creator. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? That's the only one I get on my knees. When I decide to get married, hey, look at baby, I give you the ring. Look at you, you know what it is. Put it, you know what it is.
okay. So you've only been in one real relationship?
Well, yeah, maybe possibly two, depending on if you really truly want to classify it as that. And nothing extremely that the longest term one was about maybe 6 months before I went back to the prison. So yeah, and that's not all. You know, when you spend as much time away as I have, that obviously will
Right.
interrupt those issues. And I didn't have a woman for the most part during that time, and I spent a lot of time in self reflection, development, learning, trials, and you know what I'm saying, and becoming who I ultimately am. So no, I would say in truth, I've probably only had maybe one and a half really real relationships. You know what I'm saying? Most of the situations I've been involved in have been fly by night. Nothing, you know what I mean, that I would say, okay, well, she's who I want to be with. I'm a very particular man with very particular place. I'm a man of exquisite taste, Miss Fancy, man of exquisite taste.
Okay. We hear you. So one real relationship, you said kind of one. What's your age? How young are you?
45.
You're 45. Okay. Now that one real relationship that you was in, like, how was
Yes.
it? And what race was that?
Yeah, she was from Europe. She had been over in America probably couple years. She was working at this casino that I used to gamble at all the time. You know what I'm saying? Called the Mardi Gras. And so
Mhm.
I had a real big thing with blackjack, y'all. I used to be in a blackjack, you know what I'm saying? I was spinning bread, up in there. And all my mellows, you know what I'm saying, when they saw her, they wanted her. You know what I mean? And I said in the end, I say she ain't gonna fuck with y'all. She won't be. And so they laughed at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what make you? I said, nigga, because I'm not you. You know what I'm saying? She want me. And so, it took me about, a year. Really, it started as a game for me. It was really like, that's what I took it as. I took it as predator prey. That's, my mindset. Always have the mindset of a predator, black man. Always have a predator's mindset. That doesn't mean you prey upon women specifically, but you should be a man in order to discern what I just said. If you can't break that down, then you a clown. So with that being said, she eventually she came over one night. I invited her out. She came over after work about maybe 3 or 4 in the morning because she had to drive to me. And so, we began a situation. But however, I had prison basically hanging over my head, and I knew I was gonna have to serve a sentence. So when we met, when we started dealing with each other around, say, what was that? Uh, that was around maybe March of 2020. You know what I'm saying? I was on my way to the Bing, and so we didn't really truly have an opportunity to really develop quite like things should have. And then, we tried to deal with each other when I got out, but this was previous. So yes, but she was from Europe, and I mean, no kids, 800 credit score, super thick. Everybody, all of my comrades wanted her. You know what I'm saying? She was always coveted. You know what I mean? She was, but I told them, I said, you niggas are soft. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of was that was, I believe, the initial start of what we began. And so I hope that answers your question, though.
It does answer my question, and I find that extremely.
Mhm.
I don't have a word for it because it's okay if I speak on it.
Please.
I don't have a word for it because I love hearing about the black community.
Yes.
I support you 100%.
Yes.
You already know that.
Mhm.
You've never been in a real, your first real relationship was a white.
Yeah, I would have to say that would be true because here's the thing: when I was younger, I was involved in the streets and I was really chasing some money. And I had girlfriends, but they was when you're a kid, you don't really it's hard to truly decipher what's real and what isn't. As I look back, fancy, I always ask myself, was that real or was that puppy love? I'm never truly able to understand what's real versus what wasn't. Right? Was that just for time? You know what I mean? My first girlfriend that I remember was named Tondaleo. She had the hood reddish, but I was so infatuated with her. You know what I'm saying? Tondaleo. Shout out to her. She's out there. And she was one of my first crushes. And so, you know what I mean? Then there was another chick named Pam. You know what I'm saying? Pam was super dark skin, super thick. So I've always been into beauty. Like that's the first thing that gets me is the beauty in a woman, the softness in a woman. So even as a young man, that's what I would gravitate toward. You know what I mean? So I always knew that I was going to, and then women have always liked me. Young ladies have always, I remember since the age of maybe 12, I've been able to garner the attention, you know what I mean, of women. I've been able to receive that, whether they be my age or older or, you know what I mean, some semblance of the sort. So, excuse me. Y'all got to excuse me. The gizmo tried to do things behind my back. She don't think her daddy good. She tried it. As the young folks say, fancy, you tried it.
You tried.
Yeah, as the young folks say.
So, yeah,
So,
information for me. That's
yes.
why I kind of picked at your brain
Mhm.
and deeper from our
Yes.
live. All this is new
Yes.
information for me, y'all. Um, And that was my next question was how
Mhm.
different from being in a relationship with a black woman. So I can't even really ask you that.
Right. Well, I will say this. You know what I mean? In terms of like, like I say, fans, not when you away. I went to prison at the age of 18. So that took me off the street for about 10 years. And then when I got out, I'm dealing with women. However, nothing, you know what I mean, quite stuck. And then I went back to prison. You know what I'm saying? After about maybe 4 years out, right? And so then I stayed there for another 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So did I lose you? Fancy, did you leave? Can y'all hear me? Check, can y'all see me? Hello? Uh-oh. Did we lose the live gizmo? Can y'all see me, chat? Can y'all hear me? Okay, May says she can hear me. I don't know what happened to Fancy, y'all. Hopefully everything is okay. I'm not quite sure what happened. I don't know if we should discontinue this. Okay, Trey. What up, Trey? Trey too toxic. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep it going until she comes back. Trey too toxic. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Peace. There go my girl May. You know what I'm saying? The super supporter over on the Awesum and the Gizmo show. Can't thank you enough for coming over. Fancy is frozen. Okay. Make she's for. Hopefully she comes back because it's black. I just see a black screen. I don't know how y'all see it because I'm in the back with her. So I don't know how y'all see it, but I can see the chat. Okay, she's gone. So I'm gonna keep this thing going. I believe that's what she will want me to do. And if anybody has any questions for me, I'm more than willing to answer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Men. Shout out to y'all. I see y'all. Okay, we're back. Let me see. Muted. Okay, am I back? Okay. Trey Too Toxic. Okay, now you have no audio. What about now, Trey Too Toxic? How's that? You know what I'm saying? How's that? Can anybody hear me? Oh, we losing y'all now. Okay, y'all. Let me see if I can get Fancy back in this thing. And I tell you what, Trey Too Toxic. Uh, if it's possible, because I'm gonna hang up. Come back. Come back to the live, and then I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this, and then we're gonna try to redo it again. Okay, y'all come back. Y'all come back, because she's calling me right now. Come back, and then we'll set it up. Ha! Ah, back to it. They tried to The Gizmo talking about Can y'all hear Gizmo? I can't hear y'all. Can you hear fans? I can't hear you. Oh, no. I can't hear you. I don't hear anything. Can you hear me? My microphone is on, so I don't know why I can't hear y'all. My microphone is on. Nothing. I just see the chat. I just see the chat, and it said Fancy is mute. Trey Too Toxic said Fancy is mute. Trey Too Toxic say y'all good now. I'm not sure though. I can't hear it. I can't hear you at all. Hey, hey, come here. Come here. When I tell you to come here, you come here, Missy. You don't do what you want to do. You do what your father tells you. Yeah, hell. Awesome is good. And Trey Too Toxic said, I'm good. He said that you're the okay. Well, Trey Too Toxic, I'm glad, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kick it fancy while you figure it out, okay? I'm gonna stick it around, okay? Trey Too Toxic, you know what I'm saying? What's happening, man? You know what I'm saying? Peace and love. I don't know if you know about me at all. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a guy who, like I mentioned previously, you know what I'm saying? I've been to prison, you know what I'm saying, 3 times, and you know, been through everything that you can basically think of in some way, shape, or form. And you know, I came back to give a lot of information to Black men, so to uplift his masculinity and his self-esteem. And so that's why I started my YouTube channel. I was recently homeless not too long ago, and I gave up the streets in order to raise my daughter. And so that gives you a little bit of information about me and what I believe in. I believe in discipline. I believe in focus. I believe in pain. I believe in sacrifice. I believe in these things because these things shape a man. Shout out to Trey Two Toxic. Okay, I watch your Kendra. Okay, shout out to Trey Two Toxic. Okay, so you do know me. And yeah, Trey, that is what I'm about. That is the very, very core of my being. I don't bag down, I don't bend and fold. I don't bend over for no broads. Don't no broad tell me nothing. And a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying? They listen to women and they wonder why their women don't respect them. And it's because she does not see you as a leader. Black men need to begin to regain their masculinity and strength in their position in order to get the respect that they so covet. So that's me in a nutshell. Fancy, speak. Nothing. Still cannot hear you. Fancy's trying her best to bless her heart. She's trying to ask questions. Trey Too Toxic. What do you think about that? How does that serve you? Are you a Black man? How does that fit in your world? I'll say this, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Black men, I believe that this world is comfortable with 3 types of Black men: some sort of LGBTQ member, some sort of guy who runs, jumps, steps, and fetches, like some basketball player, NBA player, somebody tell jokes, somebody that entertains white folk. As long as you're entertaining and you know what I mean, you do the things that white people want you to do, and you stay in your place, they'll accept you. And some sort of guy who goes along to get along. You know what I mean? You're not gonna make any waves. You're not gonna, you're gonna go with what the narrative is, and you know what I mean, and you're not gonna push anything. You're not gonna push any agenda that's truly gonna benefit your people. So that's my position. Yeah. Fancy still trying to work it out. Fancy still trying to work on our technical issues. I see. So I can see the chat. Y'all have any questions? Uh, Free to ask. I'm an open book. Only thing I won't speak about is crimes that could potentially be reopened, and I'll speak about anything that's been closed and that I've been convicted in, but I won't speak about anything that's ongoing, or that I may know, and I definitely won't name names or anybody who could have had or allegedly been potentially involved.
You know what I mean? I'm not none of them. This ain't Adam 22. You know what I'm saying? Where he allowed black men bend over for a white man in order to, um, you know, embarrass themselves and to look like clowns. One minute you talking about you street niggas, but you let a white man come in your community and basically co-op, you know, and still use y'all for content, and then you name names, and you know what I mean, and one minute you street but next minute y'all telling. So I don't have no respect for that. Shout out to Trey Too Toxic. I'm a black man and I agree with the majority of things you say. Actually, your confidence is high. I can feel it, which is great. Yes, Trey Too Toxic. I appreciate that. And another thing that's very important, why? Because my confidence is based on something that's real. It's very it's not based on it doesn't come from a fictitious place. It wasn't. The money never made me. When I had it, I didn't let it make me. You know, appreciate the hearts. Uh, the money never made me. Nothing. I, because when a man is built off something and he has real and he has real guts and he has really been through real things, you can't. It's hard to move him off his square. You know what I mean? And so a man should be that. A man should be resolute and he should be strong. He should be firm. Now, does that mean he should not be flexible? Yes, he should be flexible. However, he should not be flexible in his principles. That means whatever those set of principles are, Trey, you act and move along those and with those, no matter what anybody says, right? I don't care if the whole world turns against you. That's what you do. And you live by those. The Quran says, to thine own self be true, then thou can be false to no man. A man must establish principles unto himself, and your principles are your block. That's your first building block for anything that you're gonna make. That's your first block. Once you develop that, everything else will you know what I mean will come your way. And so you know what I mean. On my channel, Trey, I show a lot of black men how to exercise. I wreck around with Cindy. She's a brick attached to she's a center block attached to a chain. And so you know what I mean. I carry her around in order to build core strength and to keep myself strong, so that way I'm able to always be able to be, in a position to protect that what matters to you, right? A man cannot be a man unless he protects. You know what I mean? And so this, as you all see, I have something very, very precious to protect. And so that is my job. That is my responsibility. That is my duty. Fancy is still having technical issues. She said, Fancy, but you can't hear me though. Right. Yeah. So, and so that is, so that's a lot of in truth, just to give you a little bit of background in truth. Shout out to Trey Too Toxic. I did have a question from when I was watching your Kendra thing. You can choose not to answer it if you want, but I always wondered how you claimed that you were going to provide for a family on such a high level that you were talking about, and you were working, I believe, at a pizza shop. Well, Trey, here's the thing. That's actually a great question. Maybe that got a little bit conflated. What I was looking for initially was just a woman to see if any woman was out there that I could potentially begin to build with, right? And I met a couple women off the show. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple women actually fly in. You know what I'm saying? And, there was I had that was a couple things. They just didn't particularly manifest because then they tried to move into a position that I wasn't comfortable, right? So that was me. As far as will I provide? Absolutely. Now, was I absolutely able to provide? Here's the thing: when we say provide, what does that actually look like? You know what I mean? That could, because that could teeter. I'll give you an example, Trey. If I had let's just say for a minute, hypothetically speaking, if I had somebody to watch my daughter that I trusted on a day-to-day basis, right, at a certain time, well, I could literally work two jobs because I worked one several times, right? And so, here's the thing, it's not really what you do, it's what you do with what you have. You know what I'm saying? So I can turn something into nothing basically overnight. You know what I mean? And if a woman is able to come into my world and she's able to understand her role in the position that she plays, then there's nothing for me to want to do for her, or want to provide for her, or to give her the life that that because making the money is easy. right? That's never really truly the hard part. It's having the time to 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 do it. Finding the time and then being able to keep what you make, because a lot of times we make money, right? You know how many times, Trey, have you had money that was in your hands? You like, damn, I just had 4 grand. You know what I mean? Now I got $320. The question is, can you keep it? So that's yes. Nancy got her hand raised. You gonna log off? You gonna log off and come back? Okay. All right. Faye says she's gonna log off and come back. Shout out to May. You know what I'm saying? May says financial stability is not about 100K salary. And shout out to May, because here's the thing. And I want to say this, y'all, 100% clearly to the chat. And I really want to help Black women out in this regard. There are, now you can choose to date who you want to date. I'm not going to tell you who to date. You can stick to your, I got a set of standards that I stick to, baby, whatever, right? That's fine. I'm just telling you that there are quality Black men that you could meet when they're at a certain level, right? And here's the thing, it's not really where he's at. You have to have the ability of foresight. You have to see what his potential is. I'll give you an example. What what does he have goals? Not only does he have goals, you okay, baby? What is he made of? Um, what is his saving habits like? You know what I mean? Does he have the ability to focus and lock in? Is he a hard worker? Is he diligent? Does he have the ability to see things through? So he may have all, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Like, you know what I mean? Or does he drink? Does he smoke? Does he gamble? You know what I mean? If so, how much does he drink? How much does he smoke? So, you know what I mean? Though to me, and this is just for me, oh, if a woman was to choose to get with the man that doesn't necessarily have that money right then, Trey, but you can still see, however, you can still see that he has the potential. You know what I mean? Because he's that type of a guy. He just needs, because I've always told, and I told Fancy this on our interview, a man is complete yet incomplete. That's exactly what the Quran says. Man is complete yet incomplete. So when that woman comes around, when she in his life, she then inspires him. You okay, baby? Y'all, let me check my daughter. Tell me, baby. You okay? Sometimes I think, y'all, sometimes she be coughing just for attention. She's a little actress. She daddy's little actress. And so, yes, Fancy. You're leaving out? Oh, you or me? And I just keep talking? Me? Okay, go ahead. Yes. And so real Black women, let me say something, y'all. Let me explain to this about y'all about this money requirement, because I really want to help my people out. Black people as a whole have 2.5% of the entire wealth component in this country. I don't think y'all truly understand that there's only a few people that make this sort of money. Black people as a whole only, stop, pumpkin. No, leave the humidifier alone. Stop it. No. Black people as a whole, y'all, only make 2.5%, only own 2.5% of the wealth in this country collectively. That's all we have. So this notion that everybody is making this sort of money is just not true. It's always been capped, and it's always been a lie, right? And so, however, here's the real trick of it. If a woman were to get with that man and say, you know what, this guy he has it. You know what I mean? And you can see past, you know what I mean? You can see past his rough edges, and I'm not talking about me specifically because this isn't about me. I'm just talking about in terms of my people. Gizmo, come back. If she can see past that, you'd be surprised what he can do with that. And then that's the type of man now that man that you so desired and you thought you was there with him from the beginning. There's a different level. Come here. Stop. Get off my door. No. Stop it. You gotta change your diaper. No. Hold on, y'all. Let me change my daughter's diaper. Where your diapers at, pumpkin? Where your diaper? Where your diaper? No. Stop. No, Gizmo. I know. No. Ah. Daddy change the diaper. And then everything be everything. So yeah, y'all, that's like that man that you so covered is a lot closer than you think. I'll take 10. I know, precious. I know. Okay. Come here, baby. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm gonna get her a bottle, y'all. Hold on one sec. Okay. Okay. There we go, y'all. All right, everybody. Y'all know how it is when you're a parent. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, take your time out. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, you know what I'm saying, getting it there. All right. So that's that. Now, but that's about this. Give her as a gift because my she got the bottle now. So yeah, y'all, like in the end, when you truly want to see your people prevail, when you really want to see your people in a position. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter to me what women do in terms, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't base my life off what women do. Real men don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I have a set of principles that I move by. And so those principles, if anything comes in, if it's not in congruence with that, then it's gotta be dismissed, right? So I just want to see, I'm just telling my goal is to just be able to uplift my people so that way they can start to understand that, you know what you want is a lot closer than you think. You know what I'm saying? What you want is truly closer than you think. Like, you want a ready-made man. However, the majority of black men don't make that type of money legally. They just don't. Like, it's not, the system is not set up. Like, if it were, we wouldn't be at the socioeconomic bottom. So when these women come on Kendra and these other platforms, they asking for these high-priced men as if these men are just going to be monogamous towards them and them alone. It's extremely unrealistic. Shout out to Awesome. We'll have to get off and come back. Okay. Fancy say we got to get off. I apologize, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Fancy did her best. You know what I'm saying? And we'll do this again. Don't worry about it. Y'all make sure y'all go. If you like anything you heard, go over to the Awesome and the Gizmo show, the AWESUM and the Gizmo show. You know what I mean? And subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to Fancy page. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I hit the you know what I mean? The like and like all of that stuff that everybody else say. And y'all know I ain't playing no more games. I'm ah!